but they don't know how to go about it. She's also a student like us, so she's going to give us her experience of how she juggles her life and how she got to it too. So, Wisdom is meant to share another screen. Okay, yes. So I'll pass the mic on to Mary, and please let's give a round of applause for her as she comes. Thank you.
Bang, bang,
Thanks
bang,
for having
bang,
me.
bang.
Thanks for having me. Good evening. So if you hear any like car phone or something, I'm actually sitting outside. Like I'm outside here on the road. So my
There's
name is
there's no noise. It's
no
fine.
noise. Oh, okay, cool.
Yes.
Thanks. So my name is Mary, and I currently work as a platform engineer at GlowUp. So GlowUp is like a startup shop, and we just focus on building platforms for companies. So for companies that don't want to like spend much of their time doing stuff like building the whole DevOps processes by themselves, we just like run it for them basically. So it's just like how instead of you if you want to like type a document, like how you use your Google Doc, like your Google Workspace now. So instead of like from scratch trying to like build a document like a text editor or spreadsheet, Google Workspace already gives you that opportunity. So just like that. So instead of companies trying to like build DevOps solutions themselves, we just like give them the platform and any feature that they want to add or include, we just like add it for them. So that's what we basically do. So I'll be talking about becoming a cloud engineer, and I'll like take a deep dive, show you like a roadmap, and follow like let you understand what it entails and other stuff like that. Sure. So next slide, please. Next slide. Next. I'm on the next slide already.
Yeah,
So next slide, please.
Yeah, like next page. Yep. So this is me. Yeah. Thanks. So next slide, like after this one. The page after this, please.
The next slide, please.
Yeah. Okay. While we're waiting for the slides to change, so when we talk about cloud computing, we're basically talking about doing stuff in the cloud. So stuff that you normally do on your system, you want to do them in the cloud. And when you think about that, it mostly talks about like people mostly think about deploying your websites online, like on the cloud. So I don't know what language most of us use or how we code, but most times when we build like our apps, I want to deploy it. We deploy that stuff like Heroku, make it of Vessel and other things like that. So yeah. So that's like a part of what cloud computing is about. Like your solutions, like your Google Workspace, your Microsoft 365, those are also like cloud solutions. So becoming a cloud engineer is you understand how all these technologies work, and you can also like help people deploy their applications on the cloud. So in cloud, you talk about there's DevOps, there's platform engineering, there's cloud security, and all of that stuff like that. Well, I mostly do DevOps, and the thing is, all these things are interrelated. So no matter animals, when you're starting out, no matter like if you want to do platform engineering or DevOps or whatever, you need to understand basics of the cloud. So no matter what you do later in your future, everyone must have a basic understanding of what the cloud is about. Okay, so I think when we go to the roadmaps, I'm going to like explain what's like. I think I broke it down into like a lot of phases, and then we discussed like extensively what to expect for each phase of the roadmap that you are at. But just to give you like a broad overview of what DevOps is. So DevOps is just a culture, like a way people go about building um, their applications or building their solutions. So it's coming from dev and ops. So your developers build, yeah, that side ground is fine. So when your developers build, there are some processes that go into that, like some steps they take. And then your operations teams are mostly the people that are like watching your app, like the deployment to the cloud, they're monitoring it and letting you know that okay, maybe today 300 people on the website, or tomorrow maybe 1,000 people on the website, and the website crashed. So we need to like get more servers to accommodate a lot of people visiting our website. So when so now DevOps is bringing those two fields together, development team and operations team. You're combining them together to work more seamlessly. So these are the steps involved. So in your planning phase, that's where like communication with servers. I need to understand all your TCP or your IP, your DNS routing, and all of that stuff. So the next thing is you need to learn a programming language, know how to use GitHub, Git and GitHub, and then prompt engineering too. I mean, this is the age of AI, and you have ChatGPT and Code GPT. So you need to know how to ask these AI tools the right questions so they can help you in building. So that's what I think. Okay, so what I was working on for the last 2 weeks is I'm working on building a GitHub Actions. So GitHub Actions are just for continuous integration and deployment. Like just me, I don't know, how do I say? Okay, so continuous integration is just like okay, I have written a set of rules in my and I'm saying okay, whenever someone makes a push or a commit to this particular brand, I need you to run XYZ to ensure that this code is up to standard to be merged with the main branch. Then the continuous deployment is okay. Maybe I have deployed my app on maybe AWS or Azure, and I want to like always add that feature that my developers have built to my existing application. So that's what it is. So the action is just to like so the purpose of that action I worked with was to push, build, push, and tag an image to GitHub Container Registry. So yeah. So if I did not, so I used okay. So if you're working on something like that or something, or you're like maybe you want to use Terraform to maybe set up some EC2 instances or something like that, and let's say you know the basics, you know how to use Terraform, you know Terraform commands, you know this, you know that, then you can always go to your ChatGPT or whatever and be like, oh, I want to create an EC2 instance within Terraform. I have done this, but I keep getting this error, or I don't know where to start, something like that. Sha. So that's what prompt engineering is all about. Into your cloud platform fundamentals, you can't start using AWS without understanding what AWS is, the services AWS provides, and when to use what service. Okay, I think we all know that to use any um, cloud provider, you need to like your debit card on the platform. And you wouldn't want to wake up one morning, maybe you're like playing around in AWS, creating EC2 instances or whatever, and you wake up one morning to like maybe $500, it's a bit alert. You wouldn't want that. So that's why it's always like advised that before you start setting up anything in the cloud, take a course to understand um, the pricing, for your cloud provider, services they render, networking that they provide, and other services. Then you need to learn cloud security fundamentals. But at the end of the day, people can always like hack into your because I think you don't follow best practices or your security is weak. People can always like hack into your accounts, like your cloud account, or hack your application and steal the customer's data or probably like what people do is sometimes they like try to get people's login to their cloud accounts. Then they like I don't know what they do. Should maybe use it to mine Pi or something. Then they get like a high amount of debt on it, and they leave it for the owner and move on to the next account. So you need to learn how to like be secure in the cloud. Then you also need to learn some DevOps fundamentals. So like CI/CD, I've explained that before. So infrastructure as code is when I explained when I said you use Terraform to set up like EC2 instances or what we call virtual machines. So it's more like maybe you're something like, oh, we need to set up servers, databases, but we don't want to do it like we don't want to go to AWS portal or Azure portal to create it one by one. We need you to be able to like write a script or code it up for us. So give us a script or a set of scripts that when we run them, we want these instances to be created wherever we want them or to whatever specification that we want. So that's where tools like Terraform, CloudFormation comes in. Then container orchestration, containerization rather, is where you use tools like Docker to they are basically like packaging your applications together with all their binaries, installation scripts, whatever. So you package it, and anyone can literally just pull that particular image and run it on your system. It's just like someone has built an app, maybe it's a Node app, and then when you close the repo, you have to do your npm install and other things to set it up so you can run it. But now, if that was a Docker image, all you just need to do is pull the image, and run your container, run your image rather, and yep, the app will be running on whatever system. So even if I built the app on a Mac, even with your Windows, you can run that same application without you having to install anything npm or whatnot. Then container orchestration is where you have to like manage a group of containers. That's where Kubernetes comes into play. Then your monitoring tools, yeah, like I said, if you want to like monitor how much traffic you get on your website or how many, or maybe when you have like a downtime or your server is down, you use tools like your Grafana and Prometheus to do all that. So these tools seem like a lot, and it's actually a lot to learn. But the thing is, you don't need to, how do I put it now? You don't need to be a professional at them. So you have to know how to use everything. But the trick there is um for every skill, like for every topic here, if you know one tool you can use to achieve that particular topic, that's like I think it's done a lot really. So something like CI/CD, even if you know how to use only Jenkins, if you're thrown into maybe a GitHub Actions environment, now maybe your company uses GitHub Action or they use Travis CI. For the fact that you know Jenkins, using Travis CI would not be difficult. All you just have to do is maybe read the documentation, practice, run like two or three practice. Like I think most of the documentation always have like practice like an example. So follow through with the example and yep, you're good to go. Then for infrastructure as code, some people use Terraform, some people use CloudFormation, some people use ARM, that's Azure Resource Manager. So if you know Terraform, they throw you into a CloudFormation environment. Yep, you can survive really. So the next slide will just show us like how I'm gonna approach learning these skills. So first things first, you need to know what is what. You need to understand that okay, what am I getting into? I say cloud. I'm from a cloud engineer, DevOps engineer, whatever. I need to understand what I'm getting into. And the next thing you focus on is your bash yeah, bash scripting and networking. So I always advise that you go at your own pace, and for each of these steps in the roadmap, ensure you build at least three projects for each step. So when I say project, I don't mean build one big thing. No, it doesn't have to be big. So for when you're like at the first stage of what is what, you learn about, okay, this is what cloud is, this is what this is, this is what that is. You can write an article that summarizes all your learnings and just publish it somewhere. And for Linux and Bash and networking, you can just write an article on maybe networking or build a project or something. So this slide, um, I has the link, so she would share it to whoever like is interested. You guys can like the links are real, so you can click on them and actually like follow the learning parts there. So I picked a friend introduced me to this Learn to Cloud or guide. So the good thing about these guys is they are giving you tons of material in there. So there's tons of material to learn from, tons of projects to build. So our advice is pick one material or one video, one book, like study it, watch it, read the book cover to cover, watch the video from end to end, and then pick like three projects you like to work on and do that and push to your GitHub. So for each project you build, you can put it on your LinkedIn that, oh, I worked on this project, does this, does that. And if you're building and you get into like any difficulties or something, you can always like reach out to me. My LinkedIn is there, my Twitter is there. And yep, I would always see your text and I'll reply when I can. But I'm writing exams now, Sha, so maybe later. So now the next thing you need to know is learn a programming language, learn how to use Git and GitHub, and then you can also take a short course on prompt engineering also. So for that learning a programming language, I think it will take some time, like maybe some time, maybe 3 months or 4 months or so. So for each thing you learn, always build projects as you go along, no matter how small, even if it's calculator that runs always 2 plus 2, build it, put it on your GitHub, make sure your README file is like very, very detailed, post it on your LinkedIn, post it on your Twitter. Next thing, you learn your cloud platform fundamentals. So for this cloud platform fundamentals, you can pick either AWS, Azure, or GCP. That's Google Cloud. So I always advise if you can, I think the best way to learn these things to take I think all these cloud providers they always provide certifications. Yes. So for Azure is Azure Fundamentals, for AWS is Cloud Practitioner. I don't know what GCP calls their own. But take those learning modules as if you are preparing for the certification exam. And also there are some programs you can attend, some trainings you can attend that will be like, okay, we give you free voucher to write AWS or Azure exam or give you 50% off or something. I think right now Microsoft's build is going on. I think they give free voucher for Azure Fundamentals. I'm not quite sure. I can check it out. So yeah, we can do that. And another thing is someone can be like, okay, maybe I have a lot of time on my hands. I can choose to like learn 2 things at once. Oh yeah, good and fine. But do it one step after another. So you can start like joining two um, two places in the roadmap. Is maybe when you get to like Linux now. So you're learning bash scripting, you're reading the book on networking. If you have extra time on your hands, you can start learning the programming language. So it doesn't have to be like you do one first, you finish it before you go to another one. If you have the capacity to do like two at once, as long as you know within yourself that you're actually learning something and not just like wasting your time being here and there, it's fine. Another thing is this thing takes time. If you want to like become a cloud engineer, give yourself like maybe a year or 6 months or 8 months because the materials are actually a lot. This is why I said pick one material and read it, understand it, like cover to cover, build projects, publicize it. So in publicizing your work, you get to like meet other people in the same space as yourself, have conversations, and then you learn one or two things. Because you can't say, oh, from watching one tutorial, I want to learn everything about this particular tool. It doesn't work like that. So even I myself, there's some conversations I will get in with people, and they'll mention something, and I'm like, what's my first of doing that thing? Or I never knew this tool could do that. How do you use it? So that's another one. So next slide, please. Sorry. Yep. So now you learn DevOps fundamentals. So all those things I listed, you see ICD monitoring, IAC, you learn them here. So for this DevOps fundamentals, give yourself like a lot of time, a lot of grace, because you make mistakes, code will not run, and other things like that. So, and please build projects. So for every tool you're learning, please build at least 2 or 3 projects. Then learn your security fundamentals, very important. As I also provided, so yeah, there's a link for project ideas. So project ideas are like full projects you can build. Like so this full project encompasses like the whole thing you've been learning from the beginning of the roadmap up to this point. And then we have study tips also for like how to learn, how to read, and stuff like that. The next slide, please. So about myself. How did I start out on this tech journey? So I started. Okay. Oh, bye. Take care. So I started with writing HTML, CSS. Then I did that for like some 3 months. I was writing HTML, CSS, HTML, CSS. Then I moved to Python. I was on Python for a long time. I didn't start with a laptop. I started coding on my phone. Then I started learning Python. I'm still on my phone though. But later I got a laptop. I found borrowed a laptop. So after my learning from beginning again, after learning Python from beginning, because doing it on laptop is different from doing it on your phone. So started doing that, and then after learning Python, I got to hear about a cloud cloud challenge. So I joined the cloud challenge, and I was reading through the courses that they offered. And how I got to learn about the cloud challenge was because I joined a community. So it's good as you guys are in communities, you get to hear about all these events that these companies are offering. So I learned about cloud computing, I talking to people, and people were like, oh yeah, cloud, like it's good to learn about the cloud. So don't learn it and just know it. I didn't know there like it was something that learning the cloud fundamentals. So I wrote the Microsoft fundamentals exam and yeah, I aced it. Then next time I continued talking to people and then they were like, okay, since you know the fundamentals, why don't you learn about this? So looking for a place I can learn about like the next thing, I got to hear about the Shipod Africa Cloud Bootcamp. So I joined them. That's why I got to know that, oh, okay, learning the fundamentals is not just, it's just like, it's not enough. Like, that's not it. Yeah, like, other things to still learn, like some tools, some Terraform, some Kubernetes, some Docker, and all the other stuff. Now, mind you, I was in this bootcamp without like I think the first assessment was to write, was to build something in Docker, and I didn't know how to do it. So I had to ask my friend, I had to watch a tutorial. So you don't have to disqualify yourself because maybe you don't know it or this is your first time hearing about it. Still give it a try if you're really interested. Then I went for the boot camp. I had to drop out at some point. Then I continued talking to my friends too that, oh, okay, this is what I have learned. This is what I can do. I showed them my GitHub. And they were like, and I told them, if they have any project that needs a cloud engineer that they can put me on. And then one of them like put me on a project. So I worked with him for a while. And then I came back. So that was like been my cloud journey. Then I went for some internships and all of that. So mind you, in all these, I still continued writing Python code, working as a backend engineer. So so this year I joined the Shikoda Africa camp again, and this is when I graduated. So what am I doing now? Yes, I'm working somewhere. So that's to show you that it's not always like a straight line. There are times where be you'll be there, there are times where you wouldn't be there. So just give yourself grace, and as long as you know where you're going and you're interested in what you're doing, yeah, I think you'll be fine. So next slide, please. Let's see. There's a lot of extra resources that you can use. So everything here is hands-on tutorial that even if you don't, okay, so if you don't have a Linux machine, you can always download what you call this thing now, Git Bash. So to practice your Linux and networking, download Git Bash. Um, so yeah, practice your Linux, practice your Bash scripting, your networking. Then on YouTube, you can keep an eye on these channels, especially Tech World with Nana. She has a lot of videos that teach people stuff and discusses like, oh, maybe trade-offs between using tools and other things like that. Then another thing, good thing to do is to actually read the documentation for these tools. So for something like Terraform, the best way to learn Terraform is actually read Terraform documentation because they have like a full tutorial there, and the documentation is very very rich. So you can always like follow through. Another one is Docker too and Kubernetes too. So these tools are well documented. So reading the documentation is going to like help you in the long run. So next slide, please. Yeah, next slide. So how do you gain experience? You build projects. Some people say, oh, we don't know what projects to build. You only like go on the internet search for projects and also like check out that lady on LinkedIn. She always posts projects that people can build to add to their resumes. You can also join boot camps or training programs like Code School, Code Africa. Also like talk to someone in the cloud space already, like when you're LinkedIn or those classes. All this. I remember talking to people, don't just go and meet them like, oh, eh, how to be a cloud engineer, how can I go about it? No, always like do your research first. Then can be done and ask like more specific questions, like maybe I said that you are a network engineer or this thing, maybe what the typical day in your life, or I'm working on this project and I'm stuck here. These are the steps I've taken, or I'm getting this error. Do you like have any advice? Or maybe I said this project, but I don't know how to go about building it. Do you have any advice for me? Something like that. Hey, and then this link there is there's one training that is going on. I think it's Mate that organized it. So you can always you can sign up to take their cloud computing course and then sign up again to take the DevOps course later on. So it's like paid certifications and all of that. So next slide please. I think that's all. Oh yeah, so extra stuff. So yeah, build a solid resume. So the reason why I emphasized on building projects, apart from using that to test your knowledge and to gain experience, you also add it to your resume. Because most times people look at, oh, what have you done before they can give you a task to do for them. Then you put yourself out there, volunteer, give talks, have demo sessions with people, and yeah, just build your network really and collaborate on projects. And you can also tell someone that, oh, hi, in case you have anything you're working on, I want to join you to work. You can talk to like senior guys in this space and be like, oh, in case you have any projects you're working on, can I join you? I don't mind working for free, something like that. So stuff you can do to like put yourself out there and gain more real life experience. Next slide, please. I think that's all. Let's see. Next slide. Oh yeah. So yeah, any questions, comments, or something you think I should have said that I did not say, or a random topic that you need addressed? Okay, no questions. Oh, that's fine. So next slide, and that's all. We cannot show the next slide so people can see how to reach me. Yep. So thank you for your time. Thank you for listening. And I wish you all the best on your cloud journey.
Thank you, Mary. Yes, David. I will share the slides on the group. You could go through it yourself. Thank you very much. I was able to learn. At least I'm a designer, but let me just start side hustle ways. You get. One of the questions I was going to ask was, you said I could learn any programming languages, right? It doesn't matter how small. Does it have to be a front end or back end programming language?
Nah, I can learn anything. Python, JavaScript, Go, Rust, whatever.
Oh, okay then. Thank
Yeah,
you
but
very
it's
much.
mostly advised to start with Python because you have to write scripts. And most of the work is you writing automation scripts. So yeah, but Golang is
Okay.
cool. So
Okay then. I would actually keep that in mind. If there are any questions, I'll send them across to you on the group. I'll also share the slides. Thank you very, very much for this opportunity from GDSC UNIU. It was nice having you here. Okay,
yep,
so
thank you. Bye.
being that there are no questions so far, I think that's a wrap. And we share more info about the coming events and opportunities that we're having for this month of June. If you guys want to reach out to Mary, I'm sharing the link and also sharing her LinkedIn profile because it's very good to connect and network in this space. LinkedIn profile, her Twitter and Instagram, you could follow her. And right now, she says she's having exams. So if you have any questions, you could drop it in her in her socials, but she'll reply you as soon as possible when it's convenient for her. Okay? Thank Bye.